What's up? This is Rob Yang, and I'm going to talk about a natural electrolyte for golfers. Now, the season's changing. It's going to get warmer. If you're in the desert, it's going to get hot, dry heat. If you're in Florida, it's going to get humid. It's going to get hot. So people are going to be reaching for an electrolyte drink like a Gatorade or Sports Aid or Powerade, whatever drink is out there now. There's tons of them. But the only problem is that yes, you are getting electrolytes, but you are also getting lots of other ingredients that are detrimental to your health. One is the high sugar content. You're getting tons of sugar, and you're getting them in the form of high fructose corn syrup, which we know readily converts to triglycerides, which is implicated in diabetes, heart disease, hypertension. Then the other thing is that you're getting tons of artificial ingredients. You're getting color dyes in them. And then you're getting what I call a very technical term. You're getting funky stuff actually in the Gatorade. For example, if you look at orange, any type of sports drink or even soda, orange coloring, they put brominated vegetable oil in the actual product. Now, I had no idea what bromate was. So I looked it up, and literally in the Webster's Dictionary, it says toxic substance. But they do that for mouthfeel or texture or whatever reason that they're putting it in the orange drink for, and they're toxifying vegetable oil, and then you're drinking it with your electrolytes. So it's not something to drink because it's not healthy for you. And if anything, it's going to actually deplete iodine in your body, which iodine is very, very critical for the function of the thyroid gland. So if you have any sort of issue with the thyroid, you want to definitely avoid any type of bromide because it will deplete iodine in your body. Now, the natural electrolyte that I'm talking about is basically Celtic sea salt here. So you can see it's in this white container, and you can see how there's a little bit of a contrast here because it's not pure white. And that's the thing, the key term is it's unrefined. So if you get normal salt, it would be almost blended with this white container because it's just white. Because all the other trace minerals, the magnesium, the potassium has been taken out of the actual salt. So you want to choose something like a Celtic sea salt, like a Himalayan salt, something that's unrefined because not only are you getting sodium and chloride, you're also getting the potassium, the magnesium, which actually is a natural electrolyte for your body. Now, the way that you use this with your water intake is this is about 40 ounces or so of a canteen. So I'm literally this is a pinch of salt. That goes in there. I shake up my water. It should dissolve in a 5 to maybe 10 shakes. If the water tastes salty, it's way too much salt. It should not taste like ocean water. So that's your guideline. But it should barely even change the taste of the water. And that's your natural electrolyte when you're on the course playing golf, so that you can make sure that you're, one, getting water, two, you're actually getting the sodium and the chloride and the magnesium, potassium salts with it. Because one people don't realize is that yes, you want to drink water, but you also want to get salt in. Because if you accidentally actually taste your sweat, it tastes salty. People are losing salt. So when they're not replacing the salt, people are getting cramps. They're getting all kinds of other issues because they're not getting the salt in the actual water that they're drinking. Now, I know some of you are saying, well, Rob, I'm on the borderline, the cusp of maybe going on medication because I've got hypertension. And so my doctor says no salt at all for you, sodium restricted diet. Now, my answer to that is that if we take a prototypical, let's say 50-year-old golfer, and he's playing golf, 3 to 4 times a week, and it's getting hot, it's getting humid, and he's trying to actually avoid the Gatorade because he knows the sugar is bad for him. And so he's drinking tons of water, but he's drinking no sort of salt or Celtic sea salt, or unrefined salt. What's going to end up happening is he'll deplete his body of the salt to such a degree that it actually becomes a stress to the body. Now, what happens is physiologically, the body will release aldosterone from the adrenal glands. Now, most people know the adrenal glands, that they produce cortisol and they help you deal with stress. Well, they also help you to deal with stress in terms of how your body balances sodium and potassium in the body. So when you're on a sodium restricted diet and you're also expending lots of energy and sweating and not replacing the salt, what ends up happening is aldosterone gets released and it tells your kidneys to actually retain salt, retain sodium. Well, what happens with that, it's actually in manifesting in the body, is people feel like they're holding water because they're actually holding the water in the outside of the cell extracellularly, And then what happens is that they're pulling water out of the cell from inside, so the intracellular water actually gets depleted to the extracellular space, and then that's why people have things like I'm bloated when I drink water, or even people sometimes get edema because they're not getting enough actual salt in. So my remedy is actually I give my clients with those problems a little bit of salt in their water, and that starts to dissipate over a period of time. Um, and even if you're hypertensive, if you listen or you read any of the research from Mark Houston, who is a medical doctor, and he is actually the director of the Hypertensive Institute out of Nashville, Tennessee, and he said in a lecture that I attended that actually even hypertensives can actually take in regular unrefined salt in the form of a Celtic sea salt or Himalayan salt or Hawaiian salt. So there you have it. Even a doctor who's actually well versed in hypertensive cases and actually treats patients all day long actually uses these unrefined salt. So just remember, it's a great alternative and it's a great natural electrolyte for you when you're on the golf course, and it'll really help you to rehydrate your body properly, avoid those muscle cramps, any other symptoms that happen when your body is starting to get dehydrated. So guys, thanks for listening again to me, and remember, in order to feel well, you've got to eat well. So until next time, see ya. I'ma be